John, did you end up being the face of your company through a conscious decision? There was no pretty actors you could hire for the business. How did you end up as the bloke in the ads?
Well, I've often heard people say, oh, he's a smart guy, what a great strategy, whatever. Paul, it was by accident. I happened to, we're running a small financial advisory business, and I made the mistake of going into a partnership with the then State Bank of South Australia, a subsidiary that was owned by the South Australian government. I never thought they could go bust, and this is in the last recession in the late 80s. They all went bust, the bank and all. The next thing, I went from being very comfortable, fair bit of money in the kitty there in the business. I lost a lot and treated very poorly by the banks, and I really became more sensitive as to thousands of other families doing it hard because my marriage didn't survive. I had 2 young kids, and I went through what thousands of others. So I've gone from that side to that side in a twinkle, and I really want to try and do something to keep the bastards honest. And, I came up with this idea, and I was broke. I owed a few mil because I couldn't get my money out, and I was facing bankruptcy. So, I found the power of marketing yourself and the power of PR because I didn't have 2 bob to bless myself. And, I did it all myself. So, people would stop me in a cab, or whether it's my distinctive voice or they look at me, oh, you're that guy from Rams. I said, and, people would say, how come you do the acting yourself? And, I'd say in all honesty, I'd say, look, I couldn't afford real talent. And, that was the reality. And then I learnt the power of, walking the talk and marketing yourself and the power of PR. And it was only years later that, we're spending zillions on advertisers and smart people and all the rest of it, but I never ever forget the saying, amateurs built the Ark and the professionals built the Titanic.
Very true. All right, Ruslan, a big part of your profile has been built largely through your appearances on television, particularly those 6:30 shows. I always think that's incredibly fascinating and a very successful way of doing it, because for all of the snooting and rolling of eyes about those 6:30 shows, an awful lot of people watch those, and they also go off and buy the products. Did you see a significant change in your business once you started appearing on those shows?
Yes, certainly. They get 1 million watches a night or something crazy like that, so you can't really ignore it. And I remember when I was starting up the business, I had this revolutionary business model, and I kept calling up those shows and trying to explain it to them, and the supply chain efficiencies, and this is how we make our product cheaper, cut out all of the middlemen. They weren't interested. We were also running 1 cent no reserve auctions on eBay at the time, and I was trying to think of an angle for them, and I'm thinking how a Today Tonight or a current affair journalist would think. And then one day I called them up and I was like, TV's from 1 cent. And they're like, when do we film? So realised that, no matter what media outlet it is, there is a story in it for them. And then, we still get people contact us going, oh, I saw you on Today Tonight 3 years ago, we want to buy a TV. So it definitely works.
Right. Lorna, what was the decision for you? How did it end up that you ended up being the face?
Well, mine was pretty much like John's. It was a happy accident, I guess. I was just a fashion designer that was making activewear and teaching classes, and I put my name behind the brand because I wanted to sign off on it and say, this is quality, I'm putting my name behind it. And it was only because I was in the fitness industry and I did love exercising and healthy food that, and I was really customer focused, so I wanted to spend time with my customer that they actually became interested in me. And it was only when I did a tour of my stores and got to meet more customers that, for example, my first book, they said to me, Lorna, will you write a book? Will you write a book? Will you write a book? And I went back to the office and I got on Facebook and I said, hey guys, I'm thinking of writing a book. What would you like to do? What would you like me to write about? And they said, I want you to write about what you eat and how you plan your busy day and how you stay fit and healthy and how you stay motivated to exercise every day. And I think my customers told me they wanted me to be the face of the brand, and it's only grown from there.
Now, for you, Janine, I've got to say yours is that incredible story where to be able to pick this product and this thing that didn't just take off, but it seemed to symbolise a change towards health, and you picked the right moment. How did you decide to ride that wave in terms of your own personality and how much you put yourself out there versus how much you put out, you know, the green cups, the logos, the message?
As we all know in this room, the fundamentals of marketing is don't be better, be different. And so we really sat down and we said, okay, how are we different? And look, a bit like John and Lorna, is that there was no money in the marketing budget. You know, there's lucky to be money to pay staff, and there certainly wasn't enough money to pay me. So it really was, okay, what can we use? And so we looked at the brand pillars. As you said, we've got health. We went, okay, women, that's an unusual, that's different, so yeah, that's memorable, so let's use Janine as, I felt like I was a bit like Sybil. It's like, let's talk about Janine over there while I'm in a meeting, because my background was PR as well. Yeah. So I kind of understood how that worked. So it's just really looking at the brand pillars, and you know, Janine Allis became one of the brand pillars.
Is it a weird thing when you do have to start thinking of yourself in that third person idea? The idea that there's, you know, I mean, performers know this, but obviously when you're trying to run the business, you're also the face of it. Is that weird, yourself in third person?
Look, it is a bit, but I'm a bit weird anyway, so it kind of fits with me. But it is like, but you do have to be really conscious. If you take that responsibility of being the brand, you have to be like, I would never drink and drive, not because it's the wrong thing to do, but I always have in my head this headline, Juice Lady on the Juice.
Yeah, they
right?
are.
So I already have the headline for any of those media people out there, and if I do get done. So, so you do sort of have to be really conscious that if you are out there and your brand is relating to your brand, there is a responsibility to that.